Do you know a narcissist who's perpetually playing the victim role? Someone who hates everyone in the world, or at least a whole bunch of people, mostly those who are different than him or her, because somehow these people are the cause for this person's misery? Have you noticed that often these particular narcissists seem to be completely alone in the world? They have no regular source of supply, and they just seem to be taking out their hateful energy on the world at large. Or they have a regular source of supply, but it's just not quite enough for them. Sometimes a narcissist loses his or her ability to obtain adequate sources of narcissistic supply. This can happen when the narcissist's family and friends have just had enough, and one by one they slowly abandon the narcissist. Or in some cases, the narcissist loses their ability to attract new supply because they get older, they lose their looks, or they become so self-involved that they forget how to do the whole love bombing thing effectively, or any combination of these things and many other things. This is what we call a collapsed narcissist. And in this video, I'm going to go into more detail about what that means for the narcissist and the people in the narcissist's life. What is a collapsed narcissist? That's what we're talking about today at queenbeing.com. Let's get started. My name is Angie Atkinson, and on this channel, I offer free daily video coaching to help you discover, understand, and overcome narcissistic abuse in toxic relationships. I like to call it toxic relationship rehab. Sound good? If so, hit that subscribe button and let's get going. So knowing what we know about narcissists, we know that they really do sort of need that supply to keep going, don't they? But since they need that supply to exist, what happens if they don't get it? Do they just sort of become a real person and start dealing with things like a normal person? Or do they just sort of lose it? When a narcissist is unable to obtain narcissistic supply, what do you expect? Some people are going to call this a narcissistic crisis or a collapsed narcissist. Whatever the label, it's a problem. And often not just for the narcissist, but also for other people around the narcissist in their lives. Whether they're family members, coworkers, friends, whatever, neighbors, they can be dealing with the problem of the narcissist. Now, a collapsed narcissist is simply a narcissist who has not been able to obtain proper narcissistic supply, as in a person to help bolster his or her self-worth, self-esteem, self-confidence, their general value as a human being. They require someone else to do that for them. They cannot self-validate ever on any level. In essence, the narcissist feels like they've been denied the very supply that they need to exist. The proverbial life's blood of the narcissist is narcissistic supply from other people. This leads them, of course, to narcissistic injury, and as the collapsed narcissist writhes helplessly in the pain of not getting what they want, what they believe they're due, what they think that they need to exist, whether it's meeting some big goal or simply getting the admiration and praise they feel they rightly deserve, their whole world starts to feel like it's falling down around them. The narcissist loses self-esteem and their self-image is nearly erased. They begin to self-devalue, self-doubt. They literally hate themselves to the point that they project this self-hate onto everybody around them. Since everyone hates me, they think, the narcissist, well, they may as well hate him back, right? There's no more or very little social life for a collapsed narcissist. Even if they were once the social butterfly, suddenly they've got no one left. People, this narcissist thinks, they're all fake and stupid anyway, so why should we bother to be kind to them? At this point, the narcissist lives in a constant attack mode, attempting to force people around them to provide that much needed supply. Random people, waitresses, the guy at the gas station, their son's 5th grade teacher, whatever. They are overly sensitive about everything, full of rage, full of hate, and they throw temper tantrums that would rival those of a 2-year-old, although that's a little insulting to the 2-year-old, They are outright intolerant, disrespectful, and often even violent toward the people around them, in both words and actions. They previously once maintained a certain facade, didn't they? Of a nice or a cool or easygoing or friendly or great person to be around. But as the collapse continues, that mask falls away, the facade is gone, and suddenly you're looking at the true face of a narcissist, and it is full of rage and ugliness, hate, general disgust for everything that is humanity. While they are still unable to deal with any sort of blame, criticism, or perceived disrespect of themselves, they are actively projecting their own self-hate onto the people around them in their lives, or maybe random targets like people of different religions, different races, or even different political affiliations. This is when the gloves come off, and the narcissist blasts out their blatant bigotry and their small-minded ways. This is when anyone who's different than the narcissist is a big target. They are quickly minimized. They are put into a not good enough box, to put it very mildly. This is often when narcissists will go all out to abuse their partners, physically, mentally, and otherwise. Some narcissists will excessively cheat, gamble away their money, and even physically abuse their partners and their children in these situations. In some cases, it's worse. The narcissist might even cause the death of a partner or a child. It's horrifying, the things that they will do, the depths to which they will sink. Following the falling of the narcissistic facade, the mask, and the outrageous abuse that comes after it is the rock bottom part of this whole deal. This is when they get depressed. They become suicidal. They threaten or even commit suicide. They might also take a serious action to hurt someone else or other large groups of people. Some of this has occurred in the news in recent months, and I won't mention it here because YouTube doesn't like it when I do that, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Some narcissists are going to get desperate enough to even enter therapy at this point, but it never works. And of course, they just go completely bonkers if they don't enter therapy, and they might completely lose control. And again, this is when you hear about them in the news. The loss of supply triggers defensive behaviors from the narcissist, such as the whole "I'm going to leave my family and start a whole new life" thing. The narcissist literally flees the scene of his or her failures, or what they see as failures, and attempts to just start all over again with something new, someone new. If you look at the narcissistic personality as a sort of house built on stilts, you know, like around here they have them on the river. They have these homes built up on sticks, almost stilts. Imagine that the lack of narcissistic supply is kind of like a big strong wind that comes through and knocks those houses down right into the river. The narcissist then has two choices. They can try to become a whole person and develop real coping skills, rebuild the house as it were, and in some cases obtain new supply. Or it can stay in that collapsed position and from it poison everything and everyone around them in their world. What do you think they're going to do? So back to the house metaphor, the narcissist could burn down all the other houses around them in order to take revenge on everything and everyone else who, in their minds, caused this to happen to them, caused the big strong wind to come through. What it all comes down to is that regardless of the reason for the narcissistic collapse, the narcissist blames everything and everyone except him or herself for this collapse. The narcissist must believe ultimately that they are the victim and that nothing is their fault. If you're stuck now with a collapsed narcissist, there's one escape and you know what it is. You've got to leave. You've got to never look back. You have to go no contact and you have to resist the urge to try to help them because they are unhelpable. If that was a word, I don't know. I just made it up for you. They won't be helped. You can't do this anymore. You've got to start to take care of your children if you have them, and definitely yourself if you have them. No contact is the only solution for a collapsed narcissist. All right, this brings me to the question of the day. The question of the day is, do you think that you know a collapsed narcissist? Have you ever seen a collapsed narcissist? And what did that look like for you? I see this a lot in elderly narcissists or middle-aged narcissists, especially those who once relied on their looks as part of their shtick. But what have you seen? Let me know. Share your thoughts and your experiences in the comments section below, and let's talk about it. All right? You might just help another survivor learn that they're not alone. That's all I've got for you right now. Thank you so much for being a part of my day and a part of my life. And hey, thanks for letting me be a part of yours. It really does mean a lot to me. I'll see you soon.
It's my mission to teach others what I know to be true. You really can create the life you want. Take care of your body, take care of your soul, nurture the real you, and introduce him or her to the world. Be comfortable in your own skin and in your place in this world. Take your spot, take it now, and the universe will take its cue from you. You feel me? If so, subscribe to my channel. Let's get it done together.